Here I am, surprise, again. I hopefully space these videos out so they're not like boom boom right next to each other, but these are the final 6 books that I want to read for 2020, for my list of 12 that I talked about in part 1. Again, I didn't really just go, initially I was like, oh, maybe I'll get one sci-fi, one this, one. I didn't do that. I just looked at the bookshelves and walked around, and I pulled things and said, okay, this is something I haven't read and I want to read. Okay, ready? Are you ready? This one's a little embarrassing, just a teeny bit. Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Well, I know I was supposed to read it, right? But it just didn't happen. I just got tired of hearing everybody talk about it. Americana. I love her too, but you know, it just was. So I waited for it to die down, and I still didn't read it. So guess what? This is the year for me to read it. This is set in Nigeria. For the people that don't know, it says Ifemelu and Obinze are young and in love when they depart. Military ruled Nigeria for the West. Beautiful, self-assured Ifemelu heads for America, where despite her academic success, she is forced to grapple with what it means to be black for the first time. Quiet, thoughtful Obinze had hoped to join her, but with post 9/11, America closed to him. He instead plunges into a dangerous, undocumented life in London. At once powerful and tender, Americana is a remarkable novel of race, love, and identity by the award-winning writer Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I know I'm going to have a lot to say. You know, you just listening to that. I now remember why. Also, I wanted to read it, and I kind of shy away sometimes when books are like this because I feel like there's so many. You could just go Google and then you see that, or just look in the search and YouTube, and you'd see so many people have talked about it. So you can always just fast forward when I talk about it if you don't want to hear my thoughts, because I'm sure everybody said what I'm probably going to say, but I still want to read the book. So this is going to happen 2020, okay? All right. The next one, I remember I think Dee Dee, somebody, it was Dee Dee that had read this author and was curious about what I thought about this one, like wanted me to let them know. I've had this for a long time, as well as their first book that they've gotten acclaim for, and have not read either. Yeah, okay. So it's Elif Shafak, and it is called The Apprentices, the Architect's Apprentice. And this author is well known for The Bastard of Istanbul, which I own as well. And I kind of toyed. I couldn't find the other one right offhand. I'm going to pick this up, so I wonder if I should read that one versus this one. So I will either read this one or the other one. But this one sounded really good. It's his Turkey's preeminent female writer. Here spins an epic tale set at the height of the Ottoman Empire and teeming with secrets, intrigue, and romance. Jahan, a 12-year-old Indian boy, arrives in Istanbul bearing a magnificent gift for the Sultan, a white elephant named Chota. Jahan becomes Chota's trainer, and his life changes the day he encounters the Sultan's beguiling daughter, Princess Mirama, maybe. A palace education leads him to Mimar Sinan, the empire's chief architect, who takes Jahan under his arm as they construct, with Chota's help, some of the most splendid buildings in history. Yet even as they build Sinan's triumph masterpiece, the Suleymaniye and the Selimiye mosques, I'm really butchering it, dangerous undercurrents begin to emerge with the rival enemies on all sides. It just sounds really interesting. Something I totally know nothing, zero about. I'm going to walk away knowing something. So I'm looking forward to this one, and I have high hopes for it. The next one was another one that I talked to you guys about. It wasn't this past summer, it was the summer prior, when I went to Hawaii to visit my family. And I went and purposely looked for an independent bookstore to find books about Hawaiian history or written by Hawaiian authors that would give me historical fiction type of setting and feel. And I did find a great place, and the lady gave me a couple books, and this is one of them. It's called This is Paradise by Christiana Kahakara Vila? No. Kahakara Wila. Um, if you wanted to see something funny, you should have saw me in Hawaii when we were trying to like take directions and like pronounce and read the names of the streets. It was quite hilarious. Um, but this one is like a collection of short stories, and it's a blend of like traditional, it says, and formal narratives. And they said, you know, that basically it kind of talks and speaks to the identity and the struggles of the native and the tourist. And that's exactly where I'm coming from. I just feel like, you know, I can't go visit a place like that and not understand the actual history. You know, how the United States basically took that country and from the royal family there. And, you know, so we need to understand those aspects, and we need to understand what rich culture was there prior to the Americans' arrival. So I'm looking forward to this one. It's small, but this is possibly going to really happen, right? Okay, the next one we've heard me talk about, and it's like a broken record. And I feel like I have to get it over with in the first 6 months of this year, or I should just be quiet about it, right? The Warmth of Other Suns, The Epic Story of America's Great Migration by Isabel Wilkerson. It's like a broken record if I read this book with the description for you. It's basically talking about the migration of Black people from the South to the North. I heard it's so good, and I've heard that it's just, you read so fast because it's look, I'm intimidated, but I'm not gonna lie. When I look at this one, when I'm walking around, I look at this next time. It's the size. It's not the content. So I am going to do it. I got to get, and when I do, we're going to have a little celebration. Maybe I'll have a book giveaway or something, because we need to celebrate me finally getting to this book. This one I've had for years. I've owned a couple of her books, and I've read a couple of her books. This is Jhumpa Lahiri's The Namesake. It's actually, I think, made into a movie. I'm not going to look at anything until I read the actual book. I think it's supposed to be really good. I think it's based in Calcutta. And it says, meet the Ganguly family, new arrivals from Calcutta, trying their best to become Americans. Even as they pine for home, the name they bestow on their firstborn, Gogol, betrays all the conflicts of honoring tradition in the New World. Conflicts will haunt Gogol on his own winding path through divided loyalties, comic detours, and wrenching love affairs. Winner of the Pulitzer Prize for her story collection, Interpreter of Maladies, Jhumpa Lahiri brilliantly illuminates the immigrant experience and the tangled ties between generations. So this one, like Americana, will show, you know, an immigrant experience story. So I'm really looking forward to that one. I've been wanting to read that one, and I never do it. I don't know why. The last one I got this year. I think I got it in 2000. I either got it in the end of 2018 or I got it in 2019. I bought it used. I have no shame. I don't care. I think this one's used, yeah. And it's the new Jim Crow. It's just so important. It's Mass Incarceration in the Age of Colorblindness by Michelle Alexander. It's just a must-read. Right now, we know in January, the book Just Mercy, as they've finally made a movie of it, and I've been talking till I'm blue, telling everybody to read Just Mercy for so long now. I'm so excited about the movie. But I still know that everybody needs to read the book. This one is going to be, I would consider a companion to all that, because it's talking about, you know, how the system works. You know, we tend to lock people away and then throw away the key, and we just say, okay, well, they're being punished and we're going to go about our business. But we don't think about how people are, what determines people going to prison in the first place, how they're treated in there, and the vicious cycle, the money that's made when there's people in prisons. You know, there's the whole private sector aspect of it. So I'm excited about this one. I know it's going to be heart-wrenching. I know it's going to be challenging and difficult, but again, it's important. So I'm going to read that. So that is my last 6 books that I want to read, as my 12 books for, oh my gosh, I don't think I can hold this one without the last one. for 2020. I'll be reading other things, obviously, but these are ones that I'm going to sneak in there that I really want to get read. And I just, it's about time, man. It's about time. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful new year. And I will talk to you soon.